Hey there, amazing explorers. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I have a very special story for you. One that's all about courage, kindness, and how even the tiniest actions can make a huge difference. Are you ready for an adventure? Fantastic. Then let's dive into the sky, way up high, to meet a little raindrop named Dewey. Now, Dewey wasn't just any raindrop. He lived in a giant, fluffy white cloud, high above the world. From up there, he could see everything: green forests, sparkling rivers, and busy little towns. It was a beautiful view. But Dewey had a big secret. He was scared. Really scared of falling. All the other raindrops couldn't wait to jump and splash, giggling as they imagined floating down to earth. But Dewey, he just shivered. What if I fall too fast? He'd whisper. What if I land in the wrong place? What if, I just disappear? He loved his cozy spot in the cloud, even though he felt a little bit lonely watching his friends zoom past. His friends like Splash and Drip would try to encourage him. Come on, Dewey, Splash would shout, doing a little bounce. It's so much fun. You get to see the whole world up close. Drip would add, and think of all the adventures you'll have. You might land in a sparkling river, or maybe even on a fluffy sheep. But Dewey would just shake his little raindrop self. No, thank you, he'd mumble, shrinking further into the cloud. He imagined falling endlessly, tumbling through the vast open sky, and it made his tiny raindrop heart thump. He just couldn't bring himself to take that big, scary leap. One sunny afternoon, as Dewey peeked over the edge of his cloud, something caught his eye down below. It was a little girl, no older than you, sitting in a small garden. She had a watering can next to her, but it was empty. And in front of her was a small potted flower. But oh dear, this flower looked so sad. Its petals were droopy, its stem was bent, and its leaves were turning yellow. It looked like it was saying, "Please, help me." The little girl had big, sad eyes, and a tear rolled down her cheek as she gently touched the wilting flower. She whispered, "Oh please, little flower, don't go. Please, rain, please come." She looked up at the sky with such hope, such sadness, that it broke Dewey's tiny raindrop heart. Suddenly, something shifted inside Dewey. He wasn't thinking about himself anymore. He wasn't thinking about how scary it would be to fall. All he could think about was that little girl and her dying flower. He saw her hope, her plea, and for the first time, he felt a flicker of something new, a spark of courage. He looked down at the wilting flower, then back at the little girl's tear-streaked face, and a new feeling swelled within him. It was a feeling of wanting to help, a desire to make things better. He knew, deep in his tiny raindrop core, that he had to do something. Taking a deep, shaky breath, or rather, a deep, shaky shimmer, since he was a raindrop, Dewey closed his eyes. He imagined the feeling of the wind rushing past him, but instead of fear, he focused on the little girl's smile, on the flower blooming again. He took one last look at his cozy cloud, then, with a mighty plink, he let go. Whoosh, down he went. The wind rushed past him, just as he'd imagined, but it wasn't scary. It was exhilarating. He twisted and tumbled, not like he was falling out of control, but like he was dancing in the air. He saw his friends, Splash and Drip, waving as they zoomed past, cheering him on. "Go, Dewey, go," they shouted. And Dewey, for the very first time, was having fun. The world, which had looked so tiny and distant from his cloud, grew bigger and bigger, rushing up to meet him. He aimed, with all his tiny raindrop might, for that little potted flower. Down he went, through the shimmering sunlight, and then with a soft, gentle pitter-patter Dewey landed. Not with a crash, but with a perfect soft splash, right onto a wilting petal of the little girl's flower. He felt himself sink in, cool and refreshing. The flower seemed to sigh with relief, absorbing his precious water. The little girl, who had just closed her eyes in sadness, suddenly opened them. She saw Dewey glistening on her flower, and then another raindrop, and another, and another. Soon, a gentle shower began to fall. The sad flower perked up, its leaves stretching out, its petals regaining their vibrant color. A huge smile spread across the little girl's face. She giggled with pure joy, reaching out to feel the soft rain on her hand. "It's raining," she cheered. Thank you, rain." Dewey watched, feeling a warmth spread through him that was much cozier than his cloud had ever been. He had done it. He had faced his fear, and because of his brave leap, he had made someone happy and helped a little flower live. But his adventure wasn't over. As the rain continued, Dewey flowed down the flower stem, soaking into the soil. He felt himself nourish the roots, helping the flower grow even stronger. Then, he joined hundreds of other raindrops, making their way through the earth. He felt himself become part of a stream, gurgling and splashing happily. He saw other flowers bloom even brighter, their colors vibrant and alive because of the fresh water. He helped tiny blades of grass grow tall and green, providing food for little insects and birds. Soon, the stream carried Dewey further, joining a bigger river. The river flowed past towering trees, under wobbly bridges and through bustling towns. Dewey saw fish swimming and playing in the clear water, otters diving and spinning. He was part of something so much bigger, something essential and wonderful. He was helping the river flow, keeping all the creatures hydrated and happy. And then, one magical moment, the rain stopped. The sun came out, painting a beautiful rainbow across the sky. Dewey, now part of a puddle, saw the little girl again. She ran outside laughing and stomped right into the puddle where Dewey was. Splash, her tiny boots sent water flying, and her joyful giggles filled the air. Dewey felt himself being playfully kicked and splashed, and he giggled too. A happy, silent raindrop laugh. He was helping children play, creating moments of pure delight. He wasn't just a tiny drop. He was part of their fun, part of their joy. Dewey realized something incredible that day. Falling from the cloud, which had seemed so terrifying, wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. It was the start of an amazing journey where he got to help so many things, from tiny flowers to big rivers, and even make a little girl smile. He had been scared, yes, but taking that leap of faith had led to the most beautiful, most rewarding adventure he could have ever imagined. He wasn't just a scared little raindrop anymore. He was a brave, helpful drop, full of purpose and joy. So, my wonderful friends, what can we learn from our brave little Dewey? We learn that sometimes the things that seem the scariest are often the very things that lead to the most amazing and beautiful results. Just like Dewey, who was scared to fall but ended up helping flowers grow, rivers flow, and children play. Sometimes we need to take a brave leap. It might be trying something new, speaking up, or even just asking for help. It might feel a little scary at first, but on the other side of that fear, there might be a world of wonderful discoveries waiting for you. Trust in your own bravery, and you might just find your own incredible adventure. Thank you so much for joining me today on Dewey's Journey. I hope you loved this story as much as I did. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up. And do you want to forget to subscribe to our channel, so you won't miss out on more exciting stories and adventures. We love having you here. See you next time. Bye for now.